On January 6, 2021, a group of Trump supporters stormed the United States Capitol in an attempt to overturn his defeat in the 2020 presidential election. Rioters occupied, vandalized, and looted parts of the Capitol building for several hours. Their actions caused the injury of dozens of people and the death of 5 people. This was an unprecedented event in terms of upholding democratic procedures and ensuring the peaceful transfer of power in the United States. While several aspects of the events that led to the storming of the Capitol were clearly top organized and top assisted, the riot itself was not top led, and there were even aspects of it that were incidental and developed as opportunity presented itself. Ultimately, the riot was carried out by ordinary people who took the law into their own hands. Not for nothing, their actions were described by some as vigilantism, as they sought to retaliate against and reverse what they perceived as the unlawful theft of the presidency from Donald Trump. Indeed, a good indication for this positive vigilante self-image was the righteousness and pride with which they committed these acts. Many of them refrained from disguising their identity, some explicitly confessed to their actions, and others even boasted these acts over traditional and social media. Although in some circles and in some media bubbles these vigilante acts were certainly welcomed, in most of the US, and in fact most societies around the world, these actions were harshly condemned. Very quickly, these rioters would find that their vigilante acts come with a heavy penalty, and a hunt for the people who took part in the storming of the Capitol began. US security forces, and especially the FBI, have shown determination in identifying and arresting any individual who took part in these acts. Paradoxically, one of the primary methods that the FBI decided to use to bring the vigilantes to justice was to recruit the general public to aid in identifying them. By doing so, the FBI encouraged the participation of citizens in the law enforcement process, effectively encouraging what scholars today call digital vigilantism. In this particular case, citizens were encouraged not only to help identify people from footage the FBI already has, but also to submit any information that could be relevant. This could be anything as simple as giving an eyewitness report, or more advanced aids such as providing footage or social media evidence of participation in the riots. Indeed, this call for citizens' action was answered. Among other things, citizens contributed to the homegrown terrorist Twitter account on which people identify participants in the riot. This and other online venues were also used in order to shame these participants and report on retaliation steps that have been taken against them by citizens. The FBI, on its part, created a portal in order to interact with citizens and solicit the thousands of tips it eventually received. While seeking the cooperation of citizens in police work is not in itself new, nowadays the consequences are far-reaching. A simple call for aid in identifying a suspect from a picture largely resembles the old-fashioned wanted poster, but such calls for action today evoke much more active cooperation on the part of people, and to a large extent involves taking part in surveillance. Citizens hand over footage, they go over, they analyze existing footage, they surveil other people's social media accounts, and track the digital footprint of suspects. Moreover, in many cases, citizens do not stop at identifying the wanted individual, but go on to shame and try to punish those individuals. In other words, they not only do police work, but also attempt to do judicial work. Indeed, in the Capitol rioters case, such digital vigilantes caused several rioters to be fired and even went so far as to threaten to boycott businesses that would not fire rioters who were ID'd. There is something very tricky in the use of citizens for digital vigilantism, even when it seems to be harnessed for a good cause. Citizens, just like investigative agencies, are prone to errors in identification. But unlike them, citizens carry out their investigation publicly, which means that false identifications carry a new price for those wrongly ID'd. This is exactly what happened in the Boston Marathon bombing case, in which citizens publicly identified the wrong suspects. Moreover, citizens, when acting as vigilantes, do not respect the separation between investigative work and judicial work, and at least some of them are happy to dole out punishment based on their own personal interpretation. They therefore circumvent due process and oversight. Furthermore, involving citizens in surveillance work has the byproduct of actually training people to do surveillance work, and exacerbates the pervasiveness of surveillance in our society. Thus, instead of celebrating the crowdsourcing of the hunt for the Capitol rioters, we should be worried that this digital vigilantism is being done and that security agencies such as the FBI are actually encouraging it. Vigilantism, including this very severe case of it in the Capitol riot, should not be fought against using digital vigilantism.